A new 9/11 could happen at any time in the coming few days. Now, what this intel officer was stating was, we have allowed for so much to take place and so much infiltration of the West, the UK, the US. He said, we are seeing it. And he said, we've saw it. And he said, another 9/11, a new 9/11 could come any day. Wait till you hear the warning that he gave. They actually called it a chilling, scary alert for the West. We're going to discuss what this gentleman said as he was trying to open our eyes to the dangers that's around us. Also, we're going to talk about OpenAI and Sam Altman. You know how he's built his own bunker. He's a prepper. He's a very dangerous guy when it comes to AI. But wait till you hear this. OpenAI and ChatGPT and a lot of these AI companies are building preparedness disaster protocols. And they're hiring people for millions of dollars to be ready just in case AI goes a little haywire and gets a little dangerous. They're hiring preparedness disaster protocol individuals to take care of this. What is going on? This is unbelievable. Also, we're going to discuss Congress, how they're worthless. We know that. We just come through this year as the worst and most unproductive Congress ever. It says for 4 years, Biden has pretty much ruined America and his administration. And the Congress has, the Senate and the Congress, the House of Representatives, could have done everything to fix it all. To just completely get rid of mostly everything and codify all Trump's new executive orders, and hadn't done it. The most unproductive Senate and Congress of any year. It's like the 77th year of it being so bad. What is going on? Does the Republicans just love to lose? Do they really just love to lose? We're going to discuss that. And lastly, we're going to talk about what Elon Musk just stated. He said, you've got to get rid of all the judges. Impeach. Get rid of them. He's right. We need to get rid of them. But again, it comes down to Congress and Senate. It always comes down to the guys who don't do anything really to help out Americans. Let's discuss all these stories and so many more. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay. But let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Now, thank you so much for being here again. Let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's talk about this map. I want to show you this map because it goes along with the story of the individual that just said there's a major warning for the US, UK, and the West. Now, I want you to look at this map. You've seen this map. This is not something that you've not seen. This is the map of the US. Now, the red, of course, is Republican votes. Blue is the Democrat votes. And it says that what we saw with the Trump election and what we saw with most of the elections in America is that the majority of Americans want freedom, they want liberty, and they want America to thrive. But these little blue areas that's all across America that are small parts of America have so much power, and they choose to vote really things against America. These areas alone are the ones that commit the most fraud. Listen now. Do your fact checking if you don't believe me. These areas, these cities are the ones that's committing the most fraud, the ones that are holding back the SNAP benefits data that shows the fraud, that also gives more Medicaid expenditures and benefits to illegal immigrants, and also has opened their borders to become sanctuary cities and states. These blue cities that we just talked about, these blue areas, are pretty much what's causing the infiltration of our nation too. Now, the reason I want to bring that up is because those small little things has made it to where we're very, very vulnerable. I want you to listen to what this gentleman just stated and the dangers and we kind of hit on this a little bit yesterday, but I want you to listen to this. It says, this is from Modernity News. Steve Watson wrote this. It says, ex-MI6 spy sounds alarm. Hundreds of Islamic sleeper cells are not only in the UK, but they're in the US, poised for the new 9/11. Not a new, the new. A chilling revelation from a former MI6 operative exposes a ticking time bomb when it comes to Islamist sleepers agents embedded across the UK, ready to unleash devastating rivalries to 9/11 and 7/7, all fueled by disastrous open border policies that all these Western nations have had under liberal and woke ideology with globalist agendas. A man, Dean, who spent 8 years infiltrating Al-Qaeda with MI5 and MI6, notes that the enemies are not on the outside looking in anymore. They're here. Now he's bringing up, warning shots really more to London, but he said the cities in America are facing the same threats. He says his espionage thwarted attacks such as the bomb for New York subways. He said we helped a lot of times things that was kept safe in America that no one knew about. He said all because these woke liberal ideologies and global agendas are allowing for your cities and your states to be overrun. He said what we don't realize is we are facing the threat of another 9/11. Listen to this quote. I thought this was just huge. It says a new 9/11 is coming any day from hundreds, if not thousands, of Al-Qaeda sleeper cells ready to unleash carnage for UK, US, and the West. That's a serious issue. And sadly, you know how we could stop it? Steve Bannon said this, and I thought this was just excellent. I'm not the biggest Steve Bannon fan. I want to be honest with you. I think he's kind of outlived his prime, and he says some crazy, kooky things. But one thing I believe, and I've said this before, you got to have a moratorium. I believe that you should look at what Eric Prince was trying to do when he was saying just the other day to President Trump. He said this a few years back, actually, that he would love to be part of the deportation process, and he could do it in a way that for the money you spend, I can make it happen quicker and get these people out of the country. I wish they would use Eric Prince to do this. Private people that are good at their jobs, that's made super amounts of money being good at their jobs. Not a political hack like most of the times we have running our governments. But if we would learn to deport these people, we close the border, which is good, and then let's put a moratorium. No illegals, no legals, no anyone, not any green card holder, nobody coming to this nation for at least 5 to 10 years. Now, Bannon said 10 years. I would say at least 5 years and then revisit it. But no one is allowed into the country, and let's deport everyone that is here illegally and people that shouldn't be here, that's overstayed their welcome. We would solve a lot of these issues. Now let's go back to the map I just showed you. Again, I don't want to beat the dead horse here, but look at this map. These areas, those blue areas, you look, of course, right there in Michigan, right there in California, right there in New York, those areas are the areas that you're the most vulnerable. In the cities, these blue areas, it says this is the vulnerability and this is the reason that America will struggle. Now, the problem I have with this is because we could solve a lot of this. I want you to listen to what Tommy Tuberville just said. He said, the only way we deliver what 77 million people voted for in making these policies happen, making the agendas happen, codifying the laws that need to happen, is to get rid of the filibuster. Again, Trump has said the same thing. It's like, we voted for him to make the decision, and all of a sudden the Congress and Senate are going against him. After 4 years of destruction by the Biden administration, the current Republican Congress has set the lowest legislative output record of the modern era. It says over the last 40 to 50 years, they have passed less legislative things and had more opportunities to pass, less objectives done than any other time in history. They're worthless. Your Senate and your Congress. Now, you remember when when Trump was given the State of the Union back at the first of the year when he first got elected. He brought up Elon Musk and Doge, and man, you could see they look like seals clapping. All those congressmen and senators, all those Republicans clapping, yelling and all that stupid stuff. They're such con artists. Not one bill has been codified by Trump. And they got rid of Elon and Doge. So it just kills me. These people have a chance to change history. and they're not doing it. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to try to run the clock out and try to do a lot right before the midterms and say, well, you know, if we had more time, we could have done it, so you better put us back in. It's such smoke and mirrors, guys. I'm sorry. Both sides do it. It's ridiculous. I love what Elon Musk just said. What we must do, just like what I've been saying, is mass impeach and remove all leftist judges that are allowing for fraud to take place in America. It is robbing taxpayers millions of dollars, and we're just allowing it to take place. I love what this lady just stated, and also a guy named Gary Cardone. I don't know if he's kin to Grant Cardone or anything, but he says, paying taxes has become a moral dilemma to me. Why can't Americans just think, if 77 million Americans who voted for Trump, say 50 million, just said, I'm not paying my taxes this year. Do you know how much of a problem that would cause and how much they would probably have to kowtow to us? Again, it comes down to why is taxes legal for me to pay when they just print money like it's going out of style? Why is it legal for me to have to pay taxes? And why do I have to pay taxes? And why would it be illegal to not pay them if they just have waste, fraud, and abuse? I love this comment, and it makes perfect sense. And for some reason, we haven't learned our lesson on the Republican side. It says, as a Republican, I wake up. Democrats do something blatantly illegal. GOP political hacks will go out and they'll say how outraged they are. They'll grandstand and talk about how they're going to fix the system, and then nothing happens. Then I go to bed. Then I wake up the next morning. The Democrats do something blatantly illegal. The geopolitical hacks are still outraged. They're still grandstanding. Nothing happens. And I go to sleep. Isn't that 6-cycle carousel that we always talk about? Isn't that what we're on? The only way to fix it is what Tommy Tuberville says. Get rid of the filibuster. Codify Trump's push. Let's do a moratorium. Let's actually cut the budget. Let's actually put in the things that the executive orders that Trump has put in. And let's actually do what Elon Musk said. And let's start getting rid of these judges. You know who has that power? The Senate and Congress. You know who's not done it? The Senate and Congress. So it comes down to, why should we be paying taxes? Why should we be getting our money taken away from us to give to all these other people? Listen to this. Tim Walz, even after all the billions and billions stole from the taxpayer, he just put out an announcement this week that he was going to give 20 weeks off for Somalian people that's in Minnesota so they can work together and build their families up. Most people don't get a week or two off from their main job. And the government, my tax dollars that I get robbed from every day. So basically 30 to 40% of my day that I work is for the government to give my money away. Think about that in the terms of that. Think about when you get up in the morning at 5 or 6 and you're running and you're trying to do all this stuff and stressing yourself out. And for those 8 hours you go to work, or 10 hours or 12 hours you go to work, just think of that day, 3 to 4 to 5 hours of your job. You actually don't make any money. It's really meant to just give to the government. Do you realize that? You're working 3 to 4 extra hours every day to just literally light your money on fire and give it to the government. Taxes should be completely abolished because it's completely waste. I believe this is what we should do. If we can't have Congress and Senate actually stick to a budget, I believe we shouldn't have to pay taxes. Simple as that. I mean, why is it fair for us to have to always be tight on our money and Congress can be just frivolously spending our money? And we catch them in fraud and waste, and then they do nothing about it. It's pathetic. Now let's go to this last story. And this story, man, it's freaky. And I always tell you about the AI dangers, and people think I'm crazy, but listen to this. OpenAI, Sam Altman, who's a very creepy guy, is looking to hire, listen to this, quote unquote, head of preparedness to tackle AI dangers. OpenAI is seeking to hire a candidate to post a head of preparedness to tackle dangers posed by the proliferation of artificial intelligence. Basically stating, well, this crap may get out of hand and we may have to do something. You remember Elon Musk stating a few months ago, he said, I tried to slow down the movement towards AI because I knew it was going to be dangerous. And he said, now, since everybody's embraced it, we've got to go head over heels for it, because now if we don't control it, then it will control us. He said, I tried to push it away. And he said, now it's right upon us. So let's go back to the story. It says, this is a critical role and an important time. Models of improving quickly. And now we need this person who is going to be in the public interest over preparedness. We could face some real challenges, and it could present a lot of real challenges. Well, no doubt, Sherlock. The potential impact of models of mental health, and something that we saw, is that what we could do is we could have tons of critical vulnerabilities, not only because of the safety and security element, but also the fact of no critical thinking when it comes to using AI. This post comes after OpenAI is facing a host of lawsuits dealing with mental health. In November, 7 complaints filed while in California, allegedly saying that ChatGPT chatbots help 3 people basically go through delusional rabbit holes to encourage them to ultimately take their own lives. He said, what we're seeing is AI is becoming more powerful over humans' lives than humans instead. It says, according to the lawsuits, that there has been more deaths to ChatGPT because of the way they romanticize self-inflicted suicide. Unbelievable. As computer security goes, multiple reports have flagged risk of posed AI where they get information of yours that could be pressing and could take advantage of you. It says, for instance, a May report of McKinsey & Company warned that AI models capable of detecting fraud in security networks could infer identities, expose sensitive information, and reassemble stripped out details. So AI can be used to get your information to then turn around and expose and blackmail you with it. Unbelievable. The State of Cybersecurity Resilience 2025 report shows that Accenture warned that 90% of companies that are modernized enough cannot defend itself from AI-driven threats. 90% of businesses that are modern businesses could not defend itself versus an AI-driven threat. And then the story goes, in this interview clip released on X on August 18th, Geoffrey Hinton, which is the maker of AI, which is one of the founders of it that created it, he's considered, quote-unquote, the godfather of AI, said he is fairly confident that AI would drive massive unemployment and would cause for massive risk. However, the risk I've been warning of, the most dangerous risk, will be when AI develops much smarter cognition than humans. And then humans will be taken over. It won't need us anymore. In a July 18th post with Charles Darwin University, which of course I don't believe in Charles Darwin or anything they believe in, but I love what he says, what this school said. It says, an academic of the University of Law School said that AI will put humans' dignity out of risk, to where humans will have no engagement other than what AI gives them engagement with, because AI will pose the biggest threat of knowing everything about them and then using it against them. There's no thought process when humans come to understanding the recognition power, because it embodied in memory, empathy, wisdom. Human interaction will be no more, and you will be talked to and ran over by AI. So now AI, OpenAI, which is one of the biggest purveyors of AI right now, is looking to hire a head of preparedness to tackle the dangers of what artificial intelligence will do. It says that a lot of companies are looking to do this. Now, if you remember, I can't remember if it was Claude or one of the others, but these engineers made this AI improvement for Claude or for Anthropic, I can't remember. And it started learning enough about the engineers to where it could blackmail them. And it said if they tried to write the code out to where they could get rid of this AI, that it would actually embarrass them and blackmail them. That is scary. Now, let's go back. What we've realized in this video, our tax dollars are wasted. We see the risk of these blue cities. We see the risk of fraud. We see the risk of Congress and Senate doing absolutely nothing. And we have to worry about being prepared not only for the infiltration for another 9/11 that is literally nailed by an intel officer telling us exactly what he has seen and what is going to happen, to then have to worry about preparing for AI. You can't prepare for it because it's too smart. I believe within 5 years you'll have no cab drivers or Uber drivers. You probably won't even have too many lawyers, especially paralegals. Their job will be gone. But accountants, attorneys, some of those jobs are going to start leaving, and there's no point in hiring them anymore. What's the point in hiring an engineer anymore when AI can do it for you in a snap of a finger? What's the point in having a paralegal that you pay $70, $80, $90, $100,000 to? I mean, again, not saying I want them to lose their job, but what someone's going to say is I could pay $29.99 for a year for ChatGPT or for XAI or for whatever it may be, and I can get all the information I need at the grasp of a fingertip in less than 5 minutes, and I don't have to pay human resources, I don't pay insurance, I don't have to pay taxes. It just gives me what I need. See, we're going to get to a point where humans will not be needed. Where Elon and all these people are telling you it's going to be this utopian paradise, I think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think it's going to be a dystopian nightmare because all the people will live in pure poverty. Now, can they print a ton of money and give it all to you? Sure. But what's the point in having a lot of money when everybody else does and it costs a loaf of bread $1 million? That's what you're going to be looking like. It's going to be looking like Zimbabwe, where we carry this big wheelbarrow load of, fake dollars or crypto now, probably what it's going to go to where your money's not going to be worth anything because everybody's got tons of it because it's been printed with UBI because everybody's lost their job. That's what we're getting to. If we really want to change, we got to start, first of all, with getting better leadership when it comes to Senate and Congress. We have to actually want to see Trump thrive and do well. Now, I'll be honest with you, his backing of crypto, his backing of AI, scares me. Scares me to pieces. But, there's nothing we can do, and I believe Elon said it best. He said, I tried to stop it, but now I got to a point where I can't stop it, so therefore we better figure out how to make sure that we control it, because if we don't control it, it will control us and consume us. We have to be very careful with this. Now, Trump has done great with the border, but I'd love to see him do even better. I'd love to see massive deportations because I believe that's the only way that we're going to have safer cities. No matter how safe the rural areas are, that blue map that I showed you, the red, it's everywhere. Not hardly any blue. But that blue is where they're saying the biggest problem lies, and that is in our cities. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're doing the things that you should be buying, getting, bartering, and keeping some goods, keeping some defense, because we're going to need it. And sadly, we can't defend against a lot of AI. It's going to be a lot smarter than us. But what we can do, we pray for our nation, and we can pray for a common sense approach again to this kind of stuff, and that we can hopefully heal our nation by prayer, by learning from history to do better, and ultimately preparing our families for what is coming. Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video. God bless. Be free, be free.